I'm thrilled to say that joining us for our first opposition view of 2022 is our friend of the podcast. It's Darren from the LS11 channel. Darren, it's great to have you with us for the first one of 2022. Happy New Year, first of all.
Merry New Year.
How was your break? And Leeds giving you a very nice Happy New Year gift indeed with a 3-1 win over Burnley on Sunday.
Well, I'm not saying thank God for COVID, but I think the rest that Leeds have had over the festive period after a difficult run of games, it has to be said, was probably not bad timing. I think really. So yeah, how needed that 3-1 win against Burnley was. I think because everybody talks about like a relegation 6-pointer, and it's a bit of an old cliche, but I think it really was a 6-pointer against Burnley, and Burnley are terrible. So Leeds definitely had to win that, and yeah, just glad to start the new year off well. If it will continue that way, well, we're going to be great friends with West Ham for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be sick of the sight of each other, that's for sure. The as far as I went up to Turf Moor at the beginning of December, and I mean, obviously, like you said, Burnley are terrible. Imagine how I felt going all that way to watch us draw 0-0. But I just, it's one of those things, isn't it? When you get into a bit of a losing mindset, you'd conceded 14 goals in your previous 3 games, the 4-1 against Arsenal. Unlucky in the 3-2 you lost against Chelsea, and obviously given a proper good 7-0 hiding by Man City. Is it, are those sort of games where, because I remember being in that position, I mean, we still do, especially when we play Man City, you almost write them off, but I certainly remember being in that position where you're fighting towards that wrong end of the table, and there's so many games you just shrug and think, well, we're not going to get anything, so it doesn't really matter. But is the nature of the defeat more concerning?
See, I don't know. I think there was a lot of Leeds fans that were pretty upset with some of the performances during those games and the amount of goals conceded, and the fact that Bielsa was, pretty much sort of like strong-minded in how he was going to set up his team, and he'll play the Bielsa way. But I think realistically, when you look at those teams, and you just sort of, I think a lot of fans would have just been happy to get like a point out of those games if possible. And there was a chance on a couple of them. Maybe the Arsenal one was probably the one that was, most fans thought they might get something out of. Of course, the Liverpool game got cancelled, so we didn't have to go through that one. But maybe playing Liverpool a little bit later on in the season now looks like the title's gone for them. Might not be a bad thing. But yeah, look, it was, I think, we always thought that festive period was going to be really, really tough. As soon as you saw it at the beginning of the season, you just knew that was going to be a real, real tough ask. And to come out of it and now start winning with that game against Burnley. And as I said right at the start, probably the break, the enforced break, probably came as a good time for Leeds, because, a lot of teams would be sort of blaming injuries and COVID and this, that and the other for a lot of things. But Leeds have got a massive amount of injuries to some really key players, and a very thin squad anyway at the beginning, because Bielsa doesn't like a massive amount of squad players. He likes to keep his squads really quite thin. So when you lose out on key players like Bamford, who came back, scored, celebrated, pulled his hamstring in the celebrations. I mean, you can't write it. And then Calvin Phillips, is everything ticks around Calvin Phillips. So you lose players like that, and still we're without defenders. Liam Cooper's now out. He's not going to be back till probably March. Phillips is not going to be back till March. These are big players for Leeds United, and you can't replace Karen Phillips, so you've got to sort of work around it somehow.
So with all the clamour, not clamour, the usual noise when the team isn't doing very well, although Sean Dyche seems to be escaping at the moment, but Bielsa was for the first time, really, it seemed, there was, is his time up? Is it time to move him on, etc.? Not from Leeds fans, I will grant you that. But is there sort of an understanding? Is that why perhaps there wasn't much clamour from Leeds fans, because you've been so unfortunate with injuries? Or, as we see at West Ham, Moyes has a similar approach squad-wise. But we've been undone by it, which I don't really like that idea of. I appreciate it's harder to keep people happy the more players you got, but we're getting undone by it now. We lost Ogbonna and Zuma, Antonio goes, and then we look like a shadow of our former team. What's the mindset among Leeds fans towards Bielsa, the squad, and the numbers you got in the team?
I think you're always going to have a minority of what I like to call idiots that forget what Bielsa took over and where he's taken Leeds United to, because without him, there's no way Leeds would have been in the position they are now. So, yeah, look, I think there was always going to become a point where Leeds were going to struggle. And the majority of Leeds fans are like, look, in Bielsa we trust. Everything will be okay. The amount of injuries that they've got, any team would have, and the teams they were coming up against, any team would have like massive issues with it. I just think it gave the media and talk sport and phone-in shows galore the time that they wanted, which was to effectively slag off Marcelo Bielsa, because I don't think they really understood anything. And it was all the usual suspects as ever that came out and had a real pop at Leeds, saying, "Oh, his time's up. He's got to go." But that was never going to happen. Bielsa will go when Bielsa wants to go. Until I think he's got carte blanche to stay at Leeds United as long as he wants, really.
Yeah. What was nice, I saw that video only this morning. I saw actually the one of him celebrating after the Burnley win, and that was, he seemed really, he just seemed absolutely delighted. And it's not, I don't know, I think it's easy for fans of other teams to not like him, I think. And I think it's mainly to do with the post-match interviews. You don't get anything out of him. No one really gets to know him, good or bad. And he's not that animated on the touchline. So therefore people, they're not, neutral fans aren't that bothered. But yeah, that was the first sort of one of few glimpses of proper passion that we've seen from him as neutrals.
I think you're right. And, my co-host Ryan, the one thing he's always ever wanted is a hug from Bielsa. And then COVID hit, so that was never going to happen. But you saw that hug on the sideline after the third goal went in. And you could see then straight away, he's not here for nothing. He's here because he absolutely loves it. He leads a very sheltered life. He's not like, I am. He lives in a little flat above a shop in Wetherby. Does it, walks down to Costa with his stuff in a Morrison's carrier bag. He's not your archetypal Premier League manager at all. And I think that's why people sort of love him. And ultimately, like you say, don't really understand him. And sort of get a little bit fearful about what sort of things he's up for. And he's a very intelligent man. He speaks a lot more English than
of course. Yeah, of course.
And I think the media don't like that because, like you say, they don't get a lot out of him. So immediately the knives will come out if they're not getting what they want.
I do think, though, Darren, and I've always thought this. When people go, "Oh, the media don't like it." Ultimately, Sky et al. They're paying these people's wages, right? So I do honestly. I've always been a believer that players or managers, I don't want to say owe the fans because I think that's a little bit strong, but I think it's on them. I think it's one of their job responsibilities to give particularly the broadcasters, which they're only paying the money because the fans cough up the subscriptions for Sky every month or wherever, BT Sport, whatever. I've always been a believer that they should come out and give and talk after the game. I appreciate media training. That's all fine. Sometimes you get some good stuff. Sometimes they're really boring. That's fine. But I do think there's a line that of like unacceptable amount of media stuff, which I think in my opinion, Bielsa dances very close to. Happy New Year from our friends over at Manscaped. It's that time of the year when we all commit to changing something in our lives for the better. So why not turn to Manscaped to ensure your grooming is on point and the best it can be throughout 2022. As New Year's resolutions go, pledging your commitment to your male grooming routine is the least you can do. And Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to ensure you don't drop the ball early on and remain consistent in keeping things neat and tidy all year round. And to help you get off to the perfect start, you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code WeAreWestHam. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code WeAreWestHam.
Yep, the Manscaped Performance Package has everything to boost your below-the-waist grooming game, from the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology that reduces cuts and nicks, the Crop Preserver, which is a spray that protects against chafing, and the Crop Reviver, which would ensure things down there remain fresh at all times. To top it all off, you even get a shed travel bag so you can carry all of your precious Manscaped products in style everywhere you go. Will, have you got any grooming-related New Year's resolutions knocking about?
Well, mate, as you know, we got our hands on the weed whackers earlier this year, and whilst I thought I was a bit too young for trimming nose hair, I had noticed a couple of rogue ones creeping out the nearer I got to 30. So yeah, that's my resolution this year: regular use on the weed whacker, and make sure those nose hairs are in check and there's no rogue ones creeping out for everyone to see.
Fair. Mine is just to be a bit more on top of it. I have the same New Year's resolution every year, which is just to be better at everything. And everything in that bracket, everything is maybe a little bit of fitness, work, parenting now. And now I've got another one, which is grooming. So I'm going to be better at grooming, self-grooming, below and above the waist. And the nose hairs definitely need to be done a little bit more regularly than they have been. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, mate.
Glad to hear it.
So to get your hands on the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 and to see all the other top quality male grooming products they have available this new year, head over to manscaped.com today. And remember, get 20% off and free shipping with the code WeAreWestHam. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code WeAreWestHam at manscaped.com. Have no regrets this year with our friends at Manscaped.
Yeah, and look, I think he's quite shrewd in the way that he's sort of like set himself up. But also, I sort of think he sort of like protects the team quite a lot by being able to sort of like create that sort of like facade. I think that's quite a key. I think it's interesting as well in the last like couple of years. It's sort of like, as well, players have had to come out and do sort of like post-match, which would never used to really happen apart from, say, the winning team.
Right.
You just like put a player up who had, I don't know, scored the winning goal or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd always see those. But this last couple of years, since sort of like COVID times, it does seem that like even on the losing side, players are put up. And we've seen, and I think that's been really, really interesting. I think we get more out of that than we have done out of listening to managers, because managers sort of know what they're going to say beforehand. They're all sort of very trained, but then occasionally if you chuck a player in that's just on the back of a hiding, and then they put a player in front of the camera, quite often their emotions come through. I mean, picking one out would have been David De Gea a fair few for weeks back, and you know those sort of interviews. I think
Luke Shaw today as well, isn't it?
There you go.
We're recording on the 4th, just the night after Man U have lost at home to Wolves, and on the back page of all the papers, I think the Telegraph ran with Shaw's quotes, and he's saying that they lack motivation and all, and it's the talk of the football sphere today, isn't it? So yeah, I know what you mean. But with that, and I'm not necessarily one for that. I like football for the football, but not everyone's like that. Some people like it for the soap opera and the show, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I like it for the football, and I like hearing from players and managers afterwards who have been involved. And when Bielsa comes on, I'm like, mute, channel hop, do something else. But yeah, I know what you mean.
He's done his job.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, you're right.
Fair, his translator's become a bit of a star up here.
I
anyway.
know, he's a celebrity of his own. Yeah, what's his name? Do you know?
I can't remember his name now, but he's gone through a couple, and both of them have become quite a bit of a star. But he sort of pulls up the translator on occasions because he knows what the translator's saying. So he'll pick him out and say, "Nope, didn't say that. You've got to say this."
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Darren, we'll talk about the, like you said, 2 visits to London Stadium in the space of 7 days for your team.
Yeah.
First of all, this Sunday in the FA Cup 3rd round, followed by Sunday the 16th of January. We just want to focus on the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
This week's show, if that's all right, because otherwise what content will we pump out for the
We've got
WHUFC
to say something for next week.
Exactly, mate. You've got to hold it back. Embargoed content. So Sunday, 2:00 at the London Stadium, West Ham v Leeds in the FA Cup 3rd round. First of all, what was your reaction when the draw was made?
I think the first reaction was, what? Not Arsenal? Because that seems to be what happens. And as the draw was happening, Arsenal was still in there. Arsenal
they were.
It's going to be Leeds Arsenal again, and they'll be knocked out. And then lo and behold, it's London, and we're at West Ham. So I think Leeds would have been nice to have. I don't know, even just like I think at that point in the draw, there was still like Rotherham were probably in the draw at that point.
Yeah,
I sort of think that might have been nicer. Little Yorkshire derby and Rotherham going to Ellen Road. That would have been lovely. And I always get disappointed. I know the broadcasters love it when there's all Premier League fixtures.
I don't know why though.
But I just sort of think, well, like us, we're going to see that next weekend.
Yeah.
And I just sort of think, as much as, it's 2 massive names in football history, in the FA Cup, romance of the cup, jumpers of a goalpost. But I just sort of think, I would have liked to have seen maybe a lower league team going to Ellen Road. And because not that I don't think that, Leeds may be able to get something out of this on Sunday, but when you're up against another Premier League team, you just sort of think, this is sort of week in, week out, bread and butter stuff.
Underwhelming.
I think so. Yeah. Not that it's not lovely to go to London and go to a fantastic stadium like that, but I just sort of think, and when you get to the FA Cup, you want to be playing the Histons. Well, you don't want to play. You don't want to play the Histons. You don't, because Leeds definitely don't. But you want to be playing some of the lower league teams, and that's what's so great about it. Playing another Premier League team was maybe just like you said, underwhelming.
No, Darren, I'm totally with you. Yeah, I was exactly the same. I was the same as you. Just we've been absolutely in the League Cup. We got Manchester United away, Manchester City at home, and Tottenham away. I mean, what on earth is that? And then, same with four draws we've had for the Cups this season, for a Premier League winning team in every single one. And you're totally right about the FA Cup. It's nice having sometimes it can be, oh, God, this smells, because when we lose to Oxford United, then people remember it forever, and it's really embarrassing. Blah blah blah. But I'm with you. I always like. I don't know about you. I always like getting away draws as well, because you get a big old ticket allocation, and it's normally a really, really good atmosphere. I always like going to perhaps a lower league ground, or even if it does have to be a Prem game, just like a big stadium. We've done Old Trafford before, and you get nearly 9,000 West Ham fans there. It's absolutely brilliant. So Leeds at home, I was a bit like, oh God, because we could easily lose that game. So then you haven't got an exciting tie, and we could easily go out the competition. Talk to me about then? You mentioned injuries and stuff. How will Leeds prioritise the FA Cup this season, and what do you expect sort of from a team news selection point of view?
I don't know if he'll be resting players, because I don't think there's any players that he can realistically rest. I think they'll probably dip into some of the under 23s. I think you might see sort of Joe Gelhardt start, which is not a bad thing, because he's awesome. So I think they may see a few more of the young academy players on the bench, maybe. If anybody's holding any knocks, I don't know any new ones just yet, but certainly there's going to be no Phillips, there's going to be no Cooper, no Bamford, I would imagine as well. So there's almost a spine of a team that's gone. As for any others, I don't know any other new knocks that were picked up during the Burnley game, but yeah, you could see some of the youngsters on the bench, and that's maybe that's a good thing because like you say, we're going to be playing each other again within a week, so it'll be interesting to see how he sort of sets up for this. And I suppose when you see that sort of like team line up on Sunday, you'll know how much Marcelo Bielsa is thinking about the FA Cup, or is he more thinking about the league, really? I'm sure he wants to win every single game, but if it's a choice between a run in the FA Cup or Premier League staying up, then you've got to choose Premier League staying up, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think it's an intriguing one where we're still in the Europa League, obviously, and going pretty well in the Prem as well. But the injuries have really sort of getting to us. We need to reinforce this month. I haven't got any confidence that we will, which is annoying. And I think David Moyes will take a similar approach to this. I think you can sense among the fans a sort of feeling of apathy towards it. I think we were proud of our run in the League Cup, beating Man United away for the first time in 15 years, beating Man City in the competition that they hadn't lost in for 5 years. And then the Tottenham away game, losing by the odd goal was a bit of a disappointing way to go out. But everyone was pretty proud of the performances we put in. So it's almost like we're still in the Europa League knockout stages. Everyone wants to, that's what everyone's focus for the season is. I think if we lost 1-0 at home to Leeds, I think you'd have the usual immediate aftermath, but secretly people would be going away going, well, this season's not about what we do in the cup.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Darren, you're famed on this podcast, and yours, no doubt, for your on the nose score predictions. Not at all ridiculous in any way, shape, or form. So Sunday, 2 p.m, West Ham United versus Leeds, 2 football stalwarts historically going head to head in the third round of the FA Cup. What is the score going to be?
Is there any replays in the third round, or is this going straight to penalties now, or extra?
Don't put me on the spot there, and I should know that.
I don't think that. Yeah, because I'm sure I read something that they were knocking off replays. I think there's no replay, so I'm going to go draw.
Right,
I'm going to go draw, and I'm going to say it's going to be 2-2.
That's the most sensible score prediction you've ever given on this podcast.
But penalties then will go to sudden death, and it'll be 30 penalties to 29 in favour of Leeds.
In favour of Leeds, right. Here you go. The FA released a statement. This is from the 21st of December. The FA released a statement on Monday which said we can confirm that replays have been removed in both the third and fourth rounds of the 21-22 Emirates FA Cup. There we go then. But replays will return from the fourth round onwards. From the fourth round of the 2022-23 season. Right. So we look like we're replay free this year, but that was just a nice bit of bizarre prediction from you, as we always like.
No problem.
I'm gonna say that I don't know. It's one of those. I had a choice because of my work schedule between going to the FA Cup game and the Premier League game. I thought, well, I want to go to one FA Cup game every season. So if we might get knocked out. So I'll pick the FA Cup game. My mate's bringing his little boy as well, so it'll be a nice day out for any Premier League football. So we'll do that. So I do still want us to win the game. I don't think it's going to be that pretty. I think we're going to have a pretty thin squad as well. So I'm going to go 1-0 to West Ham, but a proper grim, turgid game that you forget almost immediately. Well, Darren,
it's the romance of the cup.
Exactly, yeah. Darren, it's been brilliant having you back on the We Are West Ham podcast. And we always appreciate you giving us your time. Darren from the LS11 there chatting ahead of that FA Cup game on Sunday. Stay